Hello, welcome to the niche website. No, it's not. What is it? The website investing show.
Where's our names going, by the way? It just says website. Everyone's just put website.
Website. Let's name it just website. There you go.
Well, I breathe and live website, so might as well.
Yeah, that was wasn't ready there at the opening. It happened all very quickly. So yeah, welcome everybody. Hope you are having a nice week. Today we're going to be talking about the definitive website investing toolkit. At least that's what it's named. So we're going to talk about some of the tools that we use day in, day out to build and grow our websites and our customers' websites. Some are essential, some are optional, and some are nice to have. So we'll talk about some of those in a little while. In the meantime, just want to say hello to Carrie, Renato, Tim, and Chris, who are already talking and chatting on the live stream. A few bits of housekeeping. I was trying to think what's next. Housekeeping is don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new around here. More people we get subscribed to the channel, the more people we get on the live streams, more fun and games that we can have. If we get enough likes on today's show, then we'll get if we get 35 likes, then we'll start giving away some merch. Niche website builders. I've got the cup again. Still do have it. The cat. Maybe I should go for the full cap the whole episode today.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't do that.
The cap. Definitely not backwards. Yeah. And so we're gonna so get enough likes. We'll give away some merch at the end of the show. So get liking. Always like to remind you that we have the Building Empires event coming up in February next year. It's going to be a 5-day event this year. We had an event in June. Was it July? There was a 3-day event, all about website investing, all about how to make money online, growing your sites, that kind of thing. It was had a lot of great speakers, very popular. But we're planning to do it again, but bigger and better. So next year we'll have a 5-day event, 3 days of speaking still. We'll have 2 days of workshops and a whole lot more. So head over to building.empires.live to register for the next event and to start getting reminders that that's coming up, and to plan your days for that event. And also head over there if you want to check out the replays from last year or this year's event as well. And this week we have This week we have the end of summer sale. It's finishing. Is it finishing January or Sunday? Or Friday?
January, Sunday, yeah.
It's finishing at the end of the week. So head over to the Niche Website Builders website for those offers. You can get the link for these 15% deals in the description. 15% more content on any content or websites, and 15% any link building services that you order. So if you want to get the best deal on services that we offer, then head over and grab them today. So we're going to be talking about the website, the definitive website investing toolkit, and also we're going to, as usual, do a couple of domain teardowns thanks to Elena. So what's the domains we're going to talk about today, Elena?
So we're going to have learn how to crochet. Spoiler alert, it's about crocheting. And Green River Ambrosia. You can't really tell what it is by the name. It's about meat. It's not meat, it's the drink. I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's about type of, it's not really a wine, but it's type of alcoholic drink made from honey. So I look forward to breaking down those domains and show you more about them later.
Excellent.
Whenever you say ambrosia, I always think of like ambrosia custards. That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw that domain. I was like,
creamed rice.
Custard, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. We will crack on. What we've done is we've broken the tools down into a number of different categories. So we'll go through those categories kind of one by one. So we've got essential tools for your website, basically, for plugins that we consider to be essential that you need to use, keyword research tools, about community and how you create community, and these are tools you might want to use for that. We talk about outreach, and then a miscellaneous section for other tools, and then also sort of training at the end as well. And so we've got a bunch of things there. Let us know if we've missed anything. We came up with a list, but it's quite a long list, so we may have missed some. So give us a shout if we've missed any of those things. So we'll start with the website. Adam, what's some of the tools you use for building a website?
Well, I'm going to go and have a look at the list that we made. Okay, yeah. So first thing is themes, right? So like when you build a website, first thing you need to think about is what theme you use. We talked about this on loads of the channel, on loads of different streams. Is don't like stress over what theme you're going to pick. Don't go and spend a month picking different themes and looking at them and going to Theme Forest and opening up 50 million tabs and saying, oh, this one looks cool or whatever. Keep it simple when it comes to theme is our kind of MO. Use a free theme. They're awesome. GeneratePress, Astra. I mean, you can buy the premium one if you want the premium features, but free one is just good. And you're looking for, when you pick a theme, is it fast? Typically, I like to look, has it been around for a long time? Like, is the support around that good? If you want to make some changes or you run into an issue, like, can you Google it? And somebody else has probably had the issue and you can fix it quickly. And, you know, can you customize it enough to make it look like a reasonable site? I'm not trying to win any design awards. I just want it to be functional, fast, free/cheap if I can, and good support.
Quick question on that, Adam. So when you're choosing a theme, how would you know that that theme is going to be fast if you're just building a site?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think one is by like reading reviews of it and how it look. The other one, if it's a free theme, you can put it on your website and run it through PageSpeed Tester. Or if you had like a list of, I don't know, if you Googled a term and you pulled out the top 30 websites for that term, you can run it through a free website called, if you just Google what theme is this or what is this theme, you put the URL and it tells you what theme it is. I guarantee you, if you pulled up the top 30, a handful of them would be like Astra or GeneratePress or one of these, because they're very popular. And then you could run those through the PageSpeed test tool as well. But out of the box, things like Astra and GeneratePress, they're not bloated. They don't come with pre-built-in image sliders and all kinds of stuff like that. They just, yeah, I guess they're lightweight is what I would call them. They don't have bloating and built-in from the start.
Yeah. And another important thing, I guess, for a website is hosting. You're not going to get very far if you don't have hosting. So, and I guess WordPress itself in the first place. But we use Cloudways, niche website builders. I use it for my portfolio as well. It's awesome. It's not like the cheapest, but it's still cheap. Like in relative terms, it's I think you can get it starting prices like $12 a month, something like that. But it's excellent for like backups. It's excellent for like restoring. If you want to install some plugins on your site, it's very easy just to have. I can't remember the terminology now, but a staging area. So you create a staging site, a copy basically of the site. You install all of the plugins on the staging area, which isn't the live site. If everything works, then it works, and you can just then click a button and it migrates that staging to live. So I think there's a number of good hosting services out there, but there's also a number of bad ones. So I think just avoid like shared hosting and things like that. Avoid places like Bluehost, which are just dire.
Bluehost became really popular because there was an awesome affiliate commission, right? And then loads of people put Bluehost. And then the HostGator had a bad name for a long time, but I think that's an okay beginner one now. I mean, it's cheap, but I think it's okay if the site's not making any money. But ideally, you'd want, I think, Cloudways, a 2 gig server at a minimum, based in New York, is like $22 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Tony's put in the chat here, he uses WPX. I use WPX from some of my websites. They literally announced this week that they're upping what they give you for the price as well. So you get a better server, more RAM, more memory, and things like that for the same price. I think I'm on the 50 site package, I think, and it costs $110 a month or something like that. So it's more expensive than a WPX, but I can add more websites basically. I can't
Is it
remember.
is it like one server? Is it one server, or is it like
It is shared. It is
work?
shared hosting, but it's similar with Cloudways, because with Cloudways you wouldn't put one website on one server. You put a couple of your websites on one of the $22 servers. So it's totally different to Cloudways. Cloudways is like you have to manage it yourself. You have to set up the server. You have to select the location. You have to add the application. You have to do all that. With WPX, it's much more on the managed side. So, for example, when you're setting up Google Search Console, for example, it asks you to add the little text as a DNS record. If you don't want to do that with WPX, you just hit support. Hey, can you add this as a text record to my domain? I'm going to do it for you. So the customer support there is great. It's great for it's great for units.
Awesome. Excellent. I guess the other thing under the website list is, you need a registrar. You need a domain for a start, but it's not really tools. We're using the word tools in a very loose sense of the term here, but you need a registrar. Registrars that we use quite a lot is Namecheap. That's really, really good. In fact, the price is good. The interface is good. And GoDaddy we use a lot, but mainly because we buy domains from auction and they end up in there and stuff. Yeah. GoDaddy's a bit of a pain actually to find your stuff. It's really hard sometimes, I think.
I find new areas in it all the time. They just change their interface as well now on the back end. It changes slightly again.
I've been in there so many times, but just to find my list of domains, sometimes I go around the houses still to like find.
There's a weird bug with GoDaddy as well. I think we've probably seen it into anymore. Is when you get a domain into the account, for example, and you want to set the name server to be GoDaddy default name server. You click change name server, and sometimes literally the box doesn't appear for make GoDaddy name server default. And then in the past, I had to reach out to support, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well we've done it for you now." But we found a really weird workaround. You click add custom name server, type in absolute gibberish in the name server, and you press next. It says incorrect name server. You press back, and the button's appeared.
Sometimes it doesn't though. That's even worse. Sometimes it doesn't phone me. And I have to refresh and try again and refresh and try. It's so frustrating. It's still happening. It's not been fixed.
For such a big company, like how is that even a thing? I have no idea.
Yeah, they should sort that out. But yeah, I mean, Namecheap, I don't know if other places do it now, but Namecheap was always good as well because you got free privacy. Like normally that'd be an add-on. So domain privacy.
Most do it now, I think, because it comes in the price. GoDaddy comes in the price. But Namecheap is the cheapest, I think, for renewals, or the cheapest mainstream one for renewals and stuff. It's cheaper than GoDaddy for renewals.
This is what it is on the tin, eh?
Yep.
Have you ever used name.com? Do you use that?
There's so many different out there. There's like NameBright. I hate NameBright. That's very similar to GoDaddy. It's horrible to find your way around. Support is non-existent. Yeah. There's loads of different. Name Silo is another one I've used. Again, horrible. For user experience, for beginners, Namecheap I think is probably the easiest to get.
It's great. Yeah, it's really easy just to find your stuff. Right, plugins. Elena, did you want to pick any off the list that you like the look of that you want to mention?
Oh.
Be on the spot.
To be fair, I recently installed WordFence, I think. WordFence? How is it called?
WordFence, yeah.
But I just saw on that list you put together that you have to go premium.
Oh, you don't. That's the option. The free version is fine, but you can go premium if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, is there something in the background that you have to set up? Because I don't know whether it's working or not.
By default, the settings are good. Just by
default.
Really? If you just
Okay.
install it, they're pretty good.
Okay.
What's interesting is once you set it up, you see there's a little install is like a first-time run wizard, and you just select all the normal options, and then honestly, give it just 24 hours to go back, and then you can see the threats that is blocked. That is such an eye-opener. Like, blocks so many attempts.
But I wonder whether that's actually true, because I get like 50 emails a day. Someone from Singapore, someone from Germany.
Yes, because people are scanning the internet all the time for like vulnerabilities.
Really?
Scanning for open ports, scanning for common, it's
Wow.
common vulnerabilities and stuff. So it's not a person doing it; it's a bot. So they're doing thousands, all the time. So
Wow.
The other good thing about WordFence, even on the free version, is if there's like a vulnerability with a plugin that you've got on your site, they'll send you an email and say, hey, there's a vulnerability with this plugin. And you can update it or remove it or whatever. So that's pretty cool, because usually if you didn't have that installed, the only time you'd find out is if the site was hacked or like it makes mainstream media, but that doesn't really happen very often. So I like that about WordFence.
Okay. Yeah, I guess to be fair, like the one that I think is the best that I have, because I don't really use many plugins, to be honest. I've got Yoast SEO, of course. I've got what else? I've got the table of contents. I've got a couple of more things, but nothing that much. I've got, of course, I've got Ezoic as well. But I really haven't. I tried installing plugins for speed, but like they tend to have issues with other plugins, and that's where I've got issues. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm the best person to ask, since I don't really use many plugins, but these are the ones I use.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I just noticed Sarah said that she's using Bluehost. I mean, it's fine if you're starting out, but like what you'll find is that, especially if you're using the cheapest shared hosting, at least what my experience was, it was just so slow, and like slow to the point of impacting your chances of ranking.
I think start off is okay, I think, isn't it? It's just when you start to get some traffic.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like these days, but it was always like so bad. So bad, and the customer service was bad. It was just bad. But anyway, yes, some of the other plugins that we've got in there, we've got Link Whisper. That's a fantastic plugin. Spencer Hawes, many people here would probably know from Niche Pursuits, who created that plugin. It was really well needed, and I think we wouldn't. I don't know. It seems obvious, but I don't think I would have come up with it. But internal linking is what the tool's for. If you're not familiar with it, internal linking is really important when it comes to growing your site and spreading link value around your site. So you want to be setting up internal linking for creating silos and topical authority and all sorts of good reasons. But it's such a painful and manual process if you just have to do it yourself. It takes ages and it's really dull. Link Whisper takes out a lot of that pain. It basically, you can search by keyword for stuff and then interlink in their interface. So you can create 5 links in 30 seconds to a post, which would take you way longer ordinarily. And actually, it's good timing. They've got $25 off for this week. So, Chris, I know you'll be watching. Like, put the link. We've got a link in the. Put the link in the chat for $25 off for this week only. So yeah, you can go and pick that up. That's just essential now. Like that as a plugin, I couldn't live without it. And yeah, it's great. So yeah, I mean, obvious ones, I guess, are like table of contents plugins. There's a bunch of them. I wouldn't say any are particularly better than any others. They're all pretty good.
We literally use the one called table of contents. I think it's literally called table of contents.
Yeah, there's table of contents, and you put TOC. There's one called TOC as well, which is like
there's one called TOC. Yeah.
So yeah, they both get great ratings.
These only small things, like when you whenever I'm evaluating a site to buy, if it doesn't have a table of contents, that's like a little tick in the plus box for me, because it's overlooked, but it's important to create jump links for Google and sometimes what I seen more on sites recently where featured snippets have actually been taken from table of contents, especially the list featured snippet. Where it's got like, I open the result, I'm like, they don't have a list. Where's the list? And then when I look, I'm like, oh, it's coming from the table of contents actually. So I think it's super important to have that.
For sure, we're gonna have to start moving faster. We're 20 minutes in, and we're not very far through. So we've got another one, like I guess we use like Yoast or Rank Math. We don't rate them as SEO tools, but for XML sitemaps, basically they automatically generate sitemaps for you.
The basic schema that they add and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and there is just pure sitemap plugins as well, but you can create. But those two generally pretty, I'll say reliable. They've got a history of not being reliable. We won't go there today. But something like Yoast or Rank Math just for XML for sitemaps. It's good. And we've got AAWP for Amazon. So if you're using, we like AAWP. There are a number of plugins for essentially easily setting up and managing affiliate links through the Amazon API on your site. So if you are doing affiliate stuff with Amazon, There's a few different plugins, but AAWP is really cheap. It's really simple. Others are a little bit more complicated and just more expensive too. So AWP has been around for ages. It's well tried and tested, and it's our favorite plugin for Amazon. And last but not least, for the plugins, we've got Lazy Load for videos. So speed, page speed, site speed is really important, ever more important these days. And videos can really slow a page load time. So Lazy Load for videos just allows the page to load and the video to load. Was it synchronously? I guess. Synchronously. Asynchronously is the same time, synchronously, one after the other. So yeah, page will load and then the video will come in when it's ready and pop into place. So it saves the page from loading slowly, basically.
So weird that is, because you use the official YouTube embed function. It's impossible to pass web core vitals with a YouTube embed.
And it's Google's. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just trying to think technically. Oh, I don't need to do that now. Just thinking technically if they can actually do anything about that. But yeah, they'll have to create their own plugin. Anyway, okay, so what have we got next in the list? We have keyword research. Adam, pick up some keyword research tools.
Yeah, standard Ahrefs and SEMrush. Probably maybe not for people starting out because they can be expensive. I know Ahrefs had a 7-day free trial, but I think they've stopped the free trial now. And I also know they had like a light version where you could connect your Search Console data to Ahrefs and get like a light free version. I'm not sure if they're still doing that either, but if you have to pay for it, they're pricey tools. But I think, depending where you are in their journey, they're invaluable. They're invaluable for not just keyword research. They're invaluable for looking at competitors, giving you ideas around different types of topics, maybe. Like site health, I don't rate the site health reports they give. They're often full of false negatives or horrible stuff, usually. But in terms of, for example, look for indexing issues. If you see all of a sudden organic pages dropping out from Ahrefs, like what's going on there? If Ahrefs can't read my pages, maybe I should be checking in Search Console and how it looks, see what's going on there. And also, especially when you're starting a website, like traffic is typically slow on a website, but one of the metrics you can look for initial gains of success is, am I ranking for keywords in the top 100? Typically, they don't mean traffic. You can't see that in Google Analytics, but as long as you're ranking for keywords in the top 100, after a certain period of time, they're going to drop into the top 10, and then they should drop into the top 3, and that equals traffic. So for me, when I launch a new website, it's one of the key things you look at to see, is this gaining traction? Is it going in the right direction?
Yeah, for sure. Any others?
Yeah. Well, any you use, Elena? Sorry.
Ahrefs.
Yeah.
Hands down, it's one I use probably 95% of the time, and the other 5% is Google. Literally, I don't use anything else but Ahrefs. Ahrefs, I think, is great for keyword research.
Yeah. There's other ones which have sprung up, which I think are quite good as well, like Ben Adler and his Keyword Chef, looking for underserved topics and specifically keywords which have, Quora and Reddit and user-generated content in the results. And he's got his own kind of ranking system for those, which is quite nice. There's low-hanging fruits. I think Shauna Newman uses those quite a bit. Very similar tool to Keyword Chef. They give you the low underserved topics. And you've got a ton of free ones then, like Answer the Public, also asked. There's the former keyword shitter, known as keyword shiter now, or whatever it's called, which will just give you a bulk list of ideas. And I mean, even freer than all those and easier than all those is just Google the word, go through the alphabet spaghetti, what's it called, alphabet soup version, where you put in the keyword and then space an A and then B and C and do the same for it. Scroll to the bottom, see what the related terms are, look at the people also ask questions. Like if you haven't got the budget for these fancy tools, just use Google. It's Google gives you the answers. These tools just present it in a different way, sometimes a bit easier to understand way, I think.
Yeah, a bit easier and a bit faster, maybe. They
Yeah,
they are expensive, some of those tools, but you don't have to spend on them necessarily. Awesome. Do you mention Keyword Cupid?
Yeah, the free trial for Ahrefs stopped a long time ago. Yeah, there we go. I didn't even realize the free version. I wonder if they still do that light version where you can get your Search Console data. I don't know, potentially. Yeah, Keyword Cupid is another good tool. It's not so much a keyword research tool. You have to already have your list of keywords, but it's a clustering tool. So you've got a massive list of keywords. You're struggling to think which ones sit together in the same pile, which ones have the same intent, and you can put them all, run the report through Keyword Cupid. You can make your own spreadsheet and upload it. You can literally download an Ahrefs spreadsheet and upload that directly. And it attempts to make order of the mess of a massive spreadsheet of keywords, basically.
Yeah. And I guess in our loose description of tools, we should probably not fail to mention the tomb raiding keyword research method that we've kind of built a process out of. So it helps identify weaker competitors that are ranking well for the topics within your area that you might be able to go after. So if you haven't heard about that, just type in what is tomb raiding SEO into Google and we'll come up top here, and you can go and check out our blog and a video that we've done on a technique we use for keyword research.
Yeah. Tomb raiding as well, hands down. Great way of doing. I keep saying hands down, but yeah, these are good though. These are really, really good methods. Yeah. I mean, tomb raiding method is done and tested and proven that works. So.
Yeah, awesome. So what else we got? Ian, what's up next on the list? Community. So we've got a few things for community. So I guess a lot of this is, you're probably only going to go this far down the road once you've started to get some traffic to your site. There's no point in trying to create an email list if you have nobody coming. You can spend your time on other things. But yeah, an email list is one thing. Once you start getting some traffic, you can start to create some offers for people to download products or whatever to capture their email list, to capture them on the email list. There's lots of email marketing tools. Go ahead, Adam.
I was just saying, that's one aspect, but you've got to know what to do with them now. I still kick myself. I bought a site going back last year, come with a ConvertKit account, which I pay for monthly. Every month I get an email to say, you've got 40 new subscribers this month. The email list is like 3,500 people now, and I've not sent a single email because I don't know.
Yeah, get around to it probably. Yeah.
I think, what am I doing? What a waste! Like that's, yeah. And every month I get an email. I'm like, I'm doing that now this week, and then by the time I know it, it's the next month I get another email.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously you got to be doing. Yeah, you got to do something with it when you get there. And I guess anyone who's treating their website as a real business, you're going to start to explore other opportunities to monetize, and that is through a mailing list. So there are ones. I mean, ConvertKit is paid. It's quite expensive, I think. How much is it, Adam? Do you know how much you're paying?
Let me tell you.
I mean, there's ones like MailChimp, which it's perfectly fine actually, probably for many niche sites, and you get like a free, like the first number of subscribers are free. I can't remember if it's 200 or 500 or something, so you can use it for free for a while. At Niche Website Builders, we use Activecampaign. That's another expensive tool like ConvertKit. That only is probably you're really going to want to do if you want to do some more advanced stuff. I often mention group leads on the channel as a great way to grow your list as well. So, I guess we should mention social media and Facebook groups as well. So Facebook groups are a great way to start driving traffic to your site as well and getting people to know about your site. So if you create a group on the topic of your niche site, you can kind of start recruiting people there. Generally, I have just a little bar that pops up at the top of my site, which mentions that I've got a new Facebook group. People click it, they go to it, they join it. When they join it, there's a few questions you can ask when people join the group. One of them can be, what's your email address? Basically, if you want to learn more information about blah, 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 then leave your email address here. The group Leads Chrome plugin basically it was running on the page, and when you click approve somebody into the group, it'll automatically add them into your email marketing tool of choice, whichever one you've connected up with them. So it connects with like 200 email marketing tools or something. So you'd be hard pressed to find one that doesn't work with. But essentially, yeah, that allows you to not only grow a Facebook group, but it allows you to grow a mailing list at the same time. And in my experience, about a third of the people who join a group also will join your mailing list. So you get to double dip there by growing a Facebook group and a mailing list. And they're both great. And the other one is OptiMonster. So OptiMonster, it's expensive. There are other tools. There's free stuff, but OptiMonster is the slickest, I guess, of all. Kind of they create pop-ups or boxes that allow you to easily acquire the email addresses through making offers and things. So you can do it manually. You don't have to do that, but it's quite a slick experience and interface. If you want to get up and running quickly, it just costs money. That's all. Anything else social media wise? Oh, YouTube. Yeah. So YouTube's pretty good. I mean, again, these this is once you start to get a group of a good following, a lot of people visiting your site. Once the business is starting to make some money, maybe you want to create courses. Maybe you want to create a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel can be fantastic for some niches. Let's take that kind of business or your online property to the next level. Anything else? Community-wise, guys?
I guess it depends on the niche and your time. I think Instagram is a pretty good one as well. I mean,
which is sorry?
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can link things, so you can put your own links. I mean, probably, yeah. I was gonna say TikTok, but I don't think TikTok's going to work very well. But Instagram is a good one because you tend to engage. They can put the comments, they can click on your links, they can message you. So I think Instagram is also a good one.
Yeah. Discord as well, Tony mentions there.
Yeah,
I mean,
Discord.
That's something that we've not done a great deal with, but I've not done a great deal with. But definitely, I think it is a great way. And you have generally got to do some maintenance, and you've got to be there a little bit. But again, once you've got an audience there, they can talk amongst themselves, right? And you only got to get things started. Provide the facility. So yeah, it's just something I have been wanting to do more with, but haven't yet.
Discord scares me. I don't know why. I've never used it. I just associate because it came up as a gaming thing, right? Like people would chat on gaming and stuff, and I've always just assumed that it's complicated to use. But it's like Slack, I think, isn't it? Yeah,
it's Slack. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But I've never used it. I don't even know what it looks like inside. I just think in my head is this block. Like, oh my god, it's really horrible to use and stuff. It's probably not.
It's a bit more advanced, I think. There's only some of the things rather than Slack, but basically, it's like a Slack.
Yeah.
It's it's good.
I guess Reddit. I mean, you can make like a group in Reddit, and maybe whatever you are about, maybe pets and snakes, whatever your niche is, and then people can talk to each other after you have some following. They can post and engage with each other, and you can engage with them. I think Reddit maybe as well is a good one.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's just where you want to invest your time. You probably want to pick one and go for it.
Yeah,
rather than
it really
trying
depends
to
on
do
your time.
All. Time and the niche and that. But definitely for technical niches, I think Reddit would be good. Yeah. So, okay. So Tony's done it. Be interested to know more about Tony. Maybe we should get Tony on to talk about
again. Yeah.
That Discord. Excellent. What's up next? Can you get your names back? Outreach. So, link building, still a very important part of building sites. As our big data project coming up, I keep saying it's coming up every week, is coming up, will show that that your authority of your domain still has an impact on ranking and stuff, which we knew anyway, but like the data backs it up a little bit more as well.
To the last 1,000-ish domains now, we're done.
There you go. It's coming. It really is coming. Elaine has been spending a lot of work, doing a lot of work on it this week, as Adam, I should say. But yeah, maybe
loads of data entry for me and Adam. Yeah, very important work.
But it'd be worth it. I mean, it's already really insightful, the data that we have. It's just that we want to make sure we've got a nice critical mass, like a lot of sites, so it can be undoubtable. But it's already showing some clear signs. So yeah, we look forward to sharing that soon. So in terms of outreach, there's a couple of different tools that we kind of use internally at these website builders. So Mailshake is what we use for email outreach. So that's when we're doing outreach at scale, I guess. So we tend to use Gmail as our mailboxes, but we connect it to Mailshake to do our basically our shotgun skyscraper outreach, which is like outreach at scale. We for other outreach, like for our Haro service, that's just straight Gmail, just hands-on kind of manual outreach using Gmail. Once the way it works with Shotgun Skyscraper is you basically go and find lots of competitors that have, or lots of sites that have linked to specific topics. So essentially you're grabbing all of the URLs of those sites, but you don't know the contact details of those people yet. So how can you email them without manually going through every single site? So we use a tool, we use like Ahrefs to go and find people that have linked to specific topics, export them, and then you can insert them into a tool like Hunter. And what Hunter does is it keeps a database of contact email addresses for all of the websites and the URLs. Normally does a very good job, and normally finds around 50% of it gives you an email address for around 50% of the websites that you feed it. So Hunter's great for on scale grabbing email addresses from URLs, just straight from URLs, so you can do some outreach for link building. And we also use another tool called Warm Up Inbox. So when you are doing a lot of outreach at scale, you can't ramp it up too quickly. You want to ramp it up slowly. So you don't want to be creating a brand new Google Apps account and then sending 300, 400, 500 emails a day, because your Google will quickly spot that. And so you have to warm it up slowly. So you start very, very low, maybe 25 emails a day, 50 emails a day, and gradually work it up. But another way to do that is to have your mailbox warmed up as well. So it isn't just all outbound emails. There's some inbound as well. So tools like Warm Up Inbox essentially just sends and receives emails on your behalf, and it basically has a network of mailboxes. So it'll send emails to the network of mailboxes, and if your email goes into spam, for example, it will mark it as not spam by default. So just trying to give your inbox some credibility, through that exercise of just having some activity happening, emails coming in and emails going out. So we use Warm Up Inbox just to help deliverability, essentially, of our emails. And lots of those tools are really expensive, but Warm Up Inbox, if it is the right one, is actually quite cheap.
$5 an inbox, is it?
Something like that. Whereas other tools, we weren't using Warm Up Inbox warming up tools for ages because they were too expensive. They were like $50-$60 an inbox or something. So it's $9 an inbox, or $7 if you go on the annual plan. I think we might even have a better deal because we were on it earlier.
I'm sure it's $5, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. So not too bad if you're only just doing outreach from one mailbox. That's fine. That's it, I think, for outreach. Elena, you were leading up that team for a while. Anything I've missed?
We use Namecheap because we used to buy the domain names for the inboxes. So, for example, we had a site www.google.com, then we'll need to make google.media or something. So then we'll need to connect that through the inboxes, etc. So yeah, I think Namecheap was one we used. I think you covered everything else. Pretty much it.
Explain the benefit of that, Elena. Why do we do that? I think that's an important part, is why we register those email addresses.
Why do we have the domain's name on the email address?
Yeah, the .email, for example. Not
I think it makes us look more legit, makes us look more professional when you send an email out. I think when webmasters see that we have the name of the site on our email, I think that makes us look more legit. So I think you can't just have, I don't know, like my email address is like something very personal. Yeah. So I think it's just more professional. It makes you stand out. Yeah. We also do people don't exist as well. We use like a name and a kind of we have like a box kind of how is it called? Like a
Signature.
signature.
A signature, yeah.
Yeah, signature that needs to be done as well. Again, it just makes you look more professional.
Yeah.
It
So, yeah, it's
protects
the other.
oh yeah, I think we were just going to say the same thing, Mark. That it also protects the client's main domain, because obviously sending emails, you can warm the account up as much as you want, but there's always the chance that the email address could be marked as a flag for sending so many emails. So if we never want to put our domains or anybody's main domain at risk, so we always register a separate one. So if anything like that does happen, there's no red mark or no flag against the main domain as well.
Yeah, it shouldn't have an impact on SEO, but it's just if anybody wants to purchase that site, if you ever want to use an email address on that domain, you might have problems if you've been blacklisted with deliverability and things. So, yeah, I guess and definitely credibility. We use you have to use, rather than using free Gmail, for two reasons. Free Gmail has a limit on the number of sends a day, and therefore you want to use the business account, so Google Apps for that reason. But also you wouldn't want to do outreach with a Gmail address because of the credibility thing that Elena mentioned. So yeah, that looks much better if you've got a business email address that you're working with. Okay, we've got other tools. What have we got under other?
What else do we use?
Yeah, so I mean, again, using loosely tools like you want to use some sort of, once you start getting traffic to your site, quite often you want to put ads on the site, so you're going to need some kind of ad network, whether that's a Zoic or Mediavine or AdThrive or whatever. I mean, they do have plugins as well to assist with stuff like that, which we didn't include in the plugin list. Go on, Adam.
That's a good point. You just mentioned Mediavine plugin, for example, but Mediavine also have additional plugins which are not just for monetization. So they've got Mediavine Grow plugin where you can add recipe cards or how-to cards, that kind of stuff. I think they've got another one which allows you to embed like a newsletter sign-up form in your content. And also, if you scroll down, you'll see it on most Mediavine sites. Scroll down, a little bar appears along the top with loads of different posts. It's kind of like recommended posts, but it appears along the top. They offer those kinds of tools as well, which are outside of monetization. And also Mediavine, I don't know if anybody in the chat's tried it, but they've got their own theme as well called Mediavine Trellis, which they'll even help you migrate for a fee. If you've got a theme and you think, oh, this sucks and I want to move my theme to Mediavine Trellis, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they guarantee you green web core vitals if they handle the migration over to Mediavine, over to the Trellis theme.
Don't they host it as well?
Huh?
Isn't it hosted as well? They host.
No, they don't host. No? But they just do the theme migration. But they charge you for it. It's not free. You have to buy the theme and then migrate over to it. And this is the other kicker. There's no discount for Mediavine members. Like if you're on Mediavine, you don't get a discount, which is the thing. I don't know. But yeah. I've seen, just through the data project, and probably you have it, Elena, but you might not have noticed it, there's tons of sites on Trellis that I see.
Really? Okay. That's interesting. You must have done a good...
Do you have to be signed up with Mediavine to be able to install those Mediavine plugins? No.
Nope. No, and you don't have to be with Mediavine for the theme either.
Okay.
But it's a paid theme.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Do you rate them? Have you tried them?
I haven't tried it. In all honesty, I don't quite like the... It looks like you can customize it, but out of the box, I don't quite like the way that it looks, but it's fast. And again, going back to the first point, really, I don't really care how a site looks too much as long as it's functional. So it does what it says on the tin.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sorry, I went way off topic there. That was about plugin from Mediavine then for a sec.
God, and you can do the next one, the next others, Screaming Frog and Canva.
Yeah, so like Screaming Frog, I think again is a really advanced. It's more of an advanced tool, and there's a free version allows you to crawl 500 URLs on a website, and then you have to pay for it. Most niche websites, probably under the 500 URL mark, so you can get away with a free version. But it allows you to do some cool stuff. We find that we use it a lot when we are doing our keyword research or competitor research. It allows you to paste in a ton of competitor URLs and pull out things like their H1, H2s, their meta descriptions, their word count, all kinds of stuff like that. You can use it for checking internal links if you haven't got a link whisper, but it's a lot harder. Link whisper is like the easiest way to do that. You can check things like site depth. We talk a lot about site depth or click depth, site depth. We talk a lot about that, about how things should be close to the homepage, X amount of clicks away. You can put your site through there and it can show you that. It can show you, there's loads of stuff Screaming Frog can do. But again, it's typically used for existing sites. Can't really see how you would use it unless you're looking at research if you were starting a brand new site. And then, Ella, do you want to take Canva? Because I think you probably use that a lot on your own sites, right?
I do use it quite a bit now, yeah. But I use other free stock images like Unsplash and Pexels and things like that. Yeah. But I find that Canva, because the free version of Canva is actually pretty good. So yeah, I do use it a lot for images. I know that people tend to say it's always best to have original, but sometimes you just need them. You just need the stock images. I do sometimes try to kind of add a filter or something and trick them, but it just takes time. I know it's best to take a stock image and make it a bit more original, add something to it. But yeah, I think, it's just one of those tools. But there's many, really, if you're looking for stock images, there's many that are free. I do recommend the paid version, though, because sometimes when I'm looking at a very niche, whatever I'm writing, a very niche specific topic, it's hard to find enough images to cover my article, especially if it's a long one. So I do recommend the paid one as well, paid version of Canva. Yeah. Awesome. Or if you are crafty and you can use Canva yourself and do all the fancy stuff that the Canva can do for you, then go ahead. But I do some of my thumbnails on my YouTube channel. I do use Canva, but it's still pretty bad. I'm not a designer or whatever the word is. It's terrible. But yeah, it's really handy for thumbnails and things like that as well.
I tell you who's good at it, Alex. I watched Alex's live stream a couple of weeks back, and he was making an image of a leather belt making a hole in a leather belt with a drill, and he'd pulled in a drill from Canva and he'd removed the background, and he was looking for pictures of belts and he was turning them, twisting them so he could try and make it look like the drill was making the hole in the leather belt.
Wow. As I said, if you're handy and if you're got kind of a bit of knowledge, you can really play around with it and create some awesome stuff.
Yeah. He's got a bit of a design background, doesn't he, Alex, if I remember?
Oh, does he? Okay. Fair play. Yeah. always comes in handy.
Yeah. No, yeah, he has got good thumbnails though. Awesome. And last but not least, we've got training, which I guess everybody needs at some point, but whether you go for free training, there's loads and loads of good resources on YouTube. I guess you've got to know which ones to trust, but ultimately, if you want to learn how to do something, generally you can Google it or search for it on YouTube and find a video to help you through that process. Of course, the Niche Website Builders YouTube channel, subscribe to that. There's loads of stuff, and you can go through the archive. There's loads of stuff that we've helped. We just share everything that we do. We don't hold anything back. So we try and cover everything off. So you can go through that, and you'll pick up a lot of information. If you want something that's more structured, and that you can go through step by step, we really like the Authority Hacker course. It's probably our favorite course. The guys over at Authority Hacker, Gail and Mark, they have some good production value and good content, and they're always refreshing it daily. So you pay once for their courses, and they continue to update it year after year and improve it. So that's our kind of go-to course, I think, for website building or website investing.
Yeah, and also check out nichewebsite.builders and go on to the media and click on the blog section, because we do a lot of blog posts, informational for you to learn. The majority right now are to do with website investing and age domains, but there are some really handy pieces of content that you can find useful and helpful for these related queries and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent. So I felt like there's something else I was going to mention on training, but I've forgotten now. So that's all good. Anything else, Henry, before we scoot on?
I don't know, like courses are really handy, but like depends how you depends how you learn. Like some people like by watching, by reading. It really depends. You have to figure out first what's the best way that you can learn. There's great courses, great information out there, but you have to figure out what's best for you as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, the courses are quite expensive,
yeah.
I guess, with Authority Echo. Tony's just mentioning there's one called the Authority Site System, TAS, which is the beginner, more cheaper one. I can't remember how much that is, $600-700 maybe. And then AH Pro, Authority Hacker Pro, which is more like $1,500 normally, I think. Might be slightly wrong there, but yeah. So that is going into more advanced topics now, like blueprints on specific topics and stuff. You can go to there.
Sarah's asking about this. Sarah's actually a member of our content team. Sarah, you have access to these courses for free. Everyone in the team has it. It's in the training channel on Slack. There's
pinned in the training channel.
And Matt digging these courses in there. Please go and help yourself. You don't have to pay for them. We've already done that for you.
Yeah. So yes. Yeah. I mean, I guess the other thing is we haven't put all of these tools, but a lot of these tools are on our website as well in the tools section of the site. So I think it's resources tools. So we've got a bunch of them listed there, and some of them are affiliate links. So if you do think about buying any, please go through and click through there, and really grateful for the kickback for that too. Okay. I think we've about done it. 15 minutes in. I might take a while.
The more you think of it, so when we started off, we're like, come up with a list, and we added a couple more. But as we go, we can add more. I feel like there's so many more that we could add. Like, we could probably just keep going all day if we started brainstorming and people in the chat. So like, this is by far not the definitive list. I know the title says the definitive investing toolkit. I mean, this is a good starting point, but it's probably tons we missed or other people using or alternatives or other stuff like that.
It's probably more than a starting point, not to overwhelm people, right? You don't need a lot of these, right? I mean, things like table of contents, yeah, you do need it, but you install it once and it's done, isn't it? But yeah, you can get away with a lot of the ones that we haven't spoken about today, and yeah, there are loads more. But I was going, maybe we should have a definitive list at some point. Maybe we should create a list and just always add to it on the website.
Make them affiliate links, obviously.
Obviously.
We're affiliate marketers.
All right, Elena, we're going to let you do your thing on the H-domain teardowns. Before we do that, don't forget to like and subscribe. 35 likes. We're at 18, so we're kind of halfway. Now, kind of halfway through the show. I think we're 2/3 of the way probably. So get liking the channel. There's 23 people watching, only 18 likes. So hit the like button, and we'll do a draw for merch at the end of the show. Elena, over to you.
Okay, so as I said earlier, spoiler alert, learn how to crochet. It's about crocheting. So we have a great age. The domain is 16 years old. It's in the crafting space, but primarily was focused about crocheting. It has a DR20, and I have some really good competitors to show you as well, and I'm going to show you the backlinks as well and many more other interesting things. So just as usual, I'm going to share my screen and great cracking. Okay, so the domain was very kind of looked very basic, and to be honest, it remained pretty much the same like this throughout its years and throughout its lifetime. So it had different things that you could do. So baby crochet patterns, Afghan crochet. You had pillow crochet, wedding crochet, beach crochet, purse, etc. You know, you get the point. It's you could just tell it's kind of probably was a passion project, and someone who just wanted to share, you know, how to crochet. And as you can see, learn how to crochet, beautiful dolly shawls, Afghan baby crocheted rugs, jumpers, and much more. You know, just very innocent looking site, to be fair, is what it was, and very simple purpose. Now let's jump onto the backlink profile, and we have some really good backlinks here. The first one immediately, you know, that stands out is BuzzFeed. Now this is a really hard backlink to get. It goes into the category of one of those impossible links. Then we have Raverly.com, we have teacup.com, moneysavingexpert.com. I guess if you if you crochet your own clothes, I guess you're saving money. Best7reviews.com. You have wikihowfun.com, which is a really, really good backlink. We have allcrafts.net as well, the crochetcrowd.com as well, which is fantastic and relevant backlink as well. So all in all, I think pretty decent backlink profile.
Nice.
Sorry, Mark, were you saying something?
I said nice.
Yeah, okay. In terms of the anchor text profile, we have a very, very clean anchor text profile. Right at the top, we have crochet, branded, naked, anchor text, very good. And if you're wondering, if you're looking at this baseball, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh my God, no, this is not good. Because typically you want to see niche relevant anchor text. You don't want to see something that shouldn't be there. Obviously, this is about crafting, and suddenly we have a baseball anchor text. And nothing to worry about. After I investigated this backlink, it was about crocheting a baseball bow. So there is nothing to worry about. It's totally related to the niche. It's about how to achieve X within that craft. So nothing to worry about this. And as you can see, we have other stuff that, this would tell you probably this is not niche relevant, but it is because it was a type of craft, the way that how to do X and achieve Y. So all of this is actually fine, totally fine. So all in all, very clean anchor text profile. Now, in terms of the cleanup process, part of this, we really don't have much really to recreate here. We'll probably need to recreate the Christmas bell. We have free crochet sew pattern, which I think is also a good opportunity for us to potentially down the line consider creating a course or like an ebook of how to do X and patterns and stuff like that. I've noticed that the crochet patterns were very common among competitors, so definitely something worth looking into. Lace fabric sweater, which is again absolutely fine. It's something we'll be covering anyway. Butterfly free crochet rose pattern. Baseball, here we go, where the baseball was mentioned in the anchor text profile, basket and things like that. So no, not a lot that will need to be recreated. And these are types of queries that we'll need to be writing about anyway because they're related to the niche. So yeah, not a lot that needs to be done here. Now let's jump on to the kind of the strategy of this domain. The crafting space is big. Like a lot of people craft, primarily kids, but it's also something many adults do as well. But there's of course still space to enter the space for new websites. And the beauty of crafting space is that it has so many areas that you could tackle it. Like crafting means many things. Of course, an initial foundation for this particular domain has already been laid out. So that was obviously crocheting. However, we can expand. Why not? It goes into craft. This is crafting. So I think we should definitely explore. But of course, our first kind of first thing we'll do is obviously start off with crocheting. So here's what we have in mind. I think the first place, as I said, crocheting 101, which means basically everything to do with crocheting. This can mean many, many things, from how to crochet to crocheting techniques and patterns, and how to, this is a really cool domain, and crocheting is actually a really good niche, part of the niche of the crafting space, because you can do, it's like drawing, like you can have pieces of content like how to crochet a pillow. You can do 50 ways to do it, or 50 great, you can put those in listicles. It's the same way like you can put 50 of the best flower drawings. It's a really great niche that's part of the crafting. And I think info pieces of content and everything to do with crocheting, techniques, patterns, etc. Info pieces of content on crafting in general. Of course, I'm thinking things like sewing will go really well with crocheting, because they're different, but they're similar. So I think these are things we can explore. And then again, here comes to when we have like an individual post step by step on how to crochet a pillow. That's where it gets really interesting, because we're of course going to do listicle types of content. So if we have 10 of the best pillowcases to craft or crochet this winter, we can internally link that individual post, that step by step, onto that listicle types of content, which will create a very strong internal linking structure as well. So I think lots of potential. And when I looked into competitors, I was surprised by how popular it was, and and how actually big the space is, and still people are getting loads of traffic just primarily with crocheting. So yeah, loads of opportunity here. And as I said, we shouldn't just be limited to crocheting. We can be on so many other things that are related to crafting. In terms of the monetization, it can come from tools around crafting, anything, because you need, what's it called? Like you need those, I think it's wool that you need to, or anything that you need.
Wool? You
A
mean?
wool?
Is it wool? You mean? Did you
A
say?
wool, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
you need to buy stuff. It's like the product to be able to crochet the stuff, the pillow. So you need the product. I don't know how it's called. Sorry, but yeah, so you need that. That thing isn't just hanging around your house. So and there's other ways and in other tools you can use that are to do with crafting space that are a great way to monetize. And of course, as play adverts as well. I was going to go there. Now let's take a look at some competitors. I think this is a really good competitor. Now they're only DR21, so we're DR20, so they're slightly higher authority than us by just 1 DR. So literally they're neck and neck. And this domain is really targeting the crocheting space. So let's take a look what they're doing. So they're doing chunky crochet blanket, and look at the volume. Like this is good volume, considering this is a very kind of specific part of the crafting space. Dinosaur crochet pattern, and as you can see, as you can see, this is a listicle types of content. So if I open that, it's funny because it says 9 on the URL, it's actually 11, so they've probably added more. And just like your classic listicle types of content, it looks very cute. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe you're gonna need the ice to buy if you want to make this. So that's where monetization come from. But yeah, they're very cute stuff that are just pieces of listicle types of content. So, yeah, that's something we'll be doing. And this domain is a great example of what can be achieved. And as you can see, right at the top, they're just targeting crocheting stuff. Free Halloween crocheting patterns. As I said, I mentioned earlier, patterns is very common from what I've observed from the competitors. Crochet frog pattern. We have pillow. We have everything is a pattern. Crochet gnome pattern, and yeah, you just get the point. This domain is just crocheting from start to finish, really, and it's doing really well. We have 82,000 per month according to Ahrefs for DR21. I'll say this is a great example of what can be achieved. And the second example is it hasn't got as incredible traffic, but it's lower authority than us. DR12 with DR20. Nearly 18,000. I think that's pretty decent. So definitely an example of a domain that will be tomb raiding. So let's take a look at what they're doing. They're doing very similar, just crocheting, but they're doing, they're just knitting versus crocheting, which is a really good piece of content, something we'll be doing. We can do, look how the berries. How did they do that?
That's really cool. I quite like that.
Is that a code, Adam?
A what?
Yeah, will be, baby.
It will be a code.
Plugin,
probably JavaScript
well.
or probably JavaScript. But it's really cute. This is what we were talking about earlier, Adam. You shouldn't care much about the theme and all these.
Will it pass Web Core Vitals? Who knows?
Who knows? This little the cute bear. I don't think it's probably swallowing that. Okay, I can't talk. Sorry, I was with the dentist this morning, so my apologies. My mouth's still hurting. But yeah, so this is going to fall nicely into our. Oh, you can't copy anything. Look, you can't. Oh, there. Future, they're protected for copying. But yeah, like this is going to fall nicely into what I was saying about information, piece of content, about just anything to do with these kind of stuff. So, okay, I'm lost. So let's go back. And they have crochet lace, 5 easiest. Interesting. These are basic types of content. Let's just take a look at. Oh, okay, this is cool. 5 easiest laces cross stitches in 2022. Okay, this is really cool. This is a list of types of content. Okay, interesting. Done really well. They've got a video. I think videos is a fantastic way that you can embed in those posts and apply, get the schema going as well. And I think you can do like the cards as well of step-by-step of the tools you need, and then the step-by-step process, which is also a fantastic way. And again, this domain falls nicely into something you can do that can add more value and potentially drive more traffic to your site by doing these things as well. So yeah, this is a great example of a domain that's doing pretty well. I think interesting content and everything's to do with crocheting. So yeah, this is the site. yeah, I think there's loads of potential for this site, and don't just think that you should just do crocheting. But then even with just crocheting, you still do really well. But of course, I think you can tackle other areas of the crafting space. As I said, you can do knitting or sewing, etc. and other things. So yeah, this is the first one. So I will look at the second one, which is Green River Ambrosia. It's again really good age. So we have 14 years old. They are 20 again, and we have a couple of good examples to show you, and we have some good backlinks in there as well. And as I mentioned earlier, the domain was about a meadery. I don't know whether I'm saying this right, but it's like, yeah, it's an alcoholic drink basically made of honey. So yeah, I'm gonna share my screen and get right onto it then.
Carl and Tony were like the crochet
Yeah, I
niche.
do like it.
Yeah, it looks
I do
good.
like it. Because when I was vetting out the domain, I was like, crocheting, is that actually doable? Like, is this actually a thing that can work out? But upon looking into it, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is really
Yeah.
big, massive. I mean, the crafting space is big in general, but
Yeah.
anyway. Okay, so this is a second age domain. It was a meatery that they produced meat, and they also had a little bit of information about what is meat and varieties, and then they had products and contact. But again, like, this is very straightforward site. This is basically the digital footprints of that actual physical meatery. Currently, our meats are only distributed in Massachusetts, so they're in the US. Yeah, so upon inspecting it, they also listed where you could find them, and they also listed like in what restaurants you can find them, and you can get in what supermarkets as well you can find them and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting, and even though it's just to do with meat that this domain was focused about, that doesn't mean we should just focus on that. We can tackle wine and other alcoholic beverages. So yeah, plenty we can do with this. Okay, so let's jump onto the backlinks. So we have 100 referring domains, and we have some good backlinks: feedburner.com, mass.gov, arb.org, bostonmagazine.com, masslife.com, ratebeer.com, which is really good kind of niche relevant. Well, it's alcohol, so it's niche relevant. Ratebeer.com, very, very good backlink. Homebrew Talk, again, I think this is a really good backlink as well. And we have more backlinks down the line as well. So, in all, I'll say pretty decent backlink profile. In terms of the anchor text, they couldn't really be better than what they are. We're having several branded anchor text right at the top, very good. Then we have a naked here, and just relevant anchor text here that are to do with the niche. So mostly branded, to be fair, which is great. Have a generic one, which is expected. It's good. Yeah, nothing really to worry about in terms of the anchors. In terms of the cleanup process, sorry, I don't think I've filtered them highest to lowest. Again, as you're seeing here, the majority are pointed towards the homepage, which is great. We do have several pointing towards internal pages, but again, like, not a massive amount. Maybe a handful need to be recreated, but again, nothing too much. Okay, so in terms of strategy, obviously the domain was all about one drink, but that doesn't mean we just stop at that drink. We can explore other alcohol beverages. At the end of the day, it's in the alcohol kind of niche and drink niche, so that doesn't mean we should just stop there. Of course, a foundation has already been laid out, so meat will certainly be in the picture. However, we could do so much more with other alcohols as well, especially wine, I think. So here's what we've got in mind. Info pieces of content on how to pair types of alcohol with food. Now, this doesn't have to be just wine. This can be many things. Like, we can do beer, we can do vodka. I guess you could also do, probably, I'm not sure whether recipes might be too far, but you could do like maybe 10 ways to use your leftover wine, to cook with your leftover wine, or like how to cook with rum or other alcohols. Maybe I think this is something I would look at. But we can do info pieces of content on types of alcohol and their alcohol content. I noticed this was quite common upon inspecting competitors. And also dietary, like, is wine gluten-free? What wine is vegan? Is meat vegan? We probably know it's not vegan because it has honey. But, is there vegan meat and things like that? So you get the point. There is loads of content around this that can be done. And also think that information pieces of content on aging and storing of wines, meat, and other alcohols, listing types of content around wineries and meaderies, breweries, etc., in X and Y cities. This is very popular, very good pieces of content that a lot of competitors are doing, and are doing really well. So, and also how to make meat, how to make wine, how to make these things, is something I think we should tackle as well. Okay, so the first one is drinkandpair.com as a competitor, DR10, so literally half less DR than us. DR is generating nearly 25,000, which I think is pretty decent considering their authority. And let's take a look at what they're covering. They only have 165 pieces of content, and as the name suggests, they are about pairing food with wine and other alcohols, but primarily wine. So we have pork tenderloin, wine pairing, wine with lasagna, best wine with pork chop, short rib wine pairing, shrimp with turkey, with paella, and Spanish wine with spaghetti and meatballs. Why did I say Spanish? Best wine with spaghetti and meatballs. I just want to know whether these are actually listicles or not. Oh wow, look at this! Looks fancy, man. Okay, it is kind of a listicle, isn't it? Yeah, interesting. But yeah, something like that, because they're just targeting how to pair wine with food. So something that's definitely on our strategy list. So something we'll be doing, of course.
Yeah, I haven't structured their pages particularly well, so it's definitely room for improvement.
Yeah, definitely room for improvement here. Yeah. Oh, why did I click on a keyword? Yeah, let's take a look at the top. Video here. It's alright. Did they make their video? Oh yeah, they have a YouTube channel. 23 subscribers. Bless them. But yeah, it doesn't look great, does it? I mean, yeah, it doesn't look great. It's a very short piece of content as well.
Yeah, I don't know what those headings are like either. I'm like, they haven't numbered it or anything. Yeah, not particularly good.
Okay, yeah, there are many pictures in here. Strange.
No picture,
yeah. How did they do that?
Why have they all got a 4.5-star rating? They're all exactly the same. We love them all the same.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no! It's on the spot.
Go back to the table at the top, though.
Yeah.
They're all 4.5 at the table.
There's a next page though. He's done.
Oh, okay. There's a next.
Scroll up, Elena. Go to that table again, and at the bottom right-hand side of the table, scroll down a bit.
Oh yeah,
this one here. There's a
next.
So,
Adam, how did they do this? Is this a plugin?
It just looks like a WordPress table. To be fair, it just looks like a standard WordPress table they've made.
There you go. There's some fours.
But hold on, hover over those blue links now. These internal links to other pieces of content they've got. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
That's a good job of internal linking.
That's a good job. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair play. That's a good job. Okay. But yeah, a lot to be done here. A lot to be done. Okay. So already.
That's really cool though, because once you've made that table once, maybe you can put that table across most pieces of content then.
Yeah, I agree, because I agree, definitely something. Yeah, I guess they've done some things right, I guess. But yeah, I think there's more to be asked. I mean, yeah, but yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely things we can improve here, which is a great sign already. Now I want to show you the second competitor, which is primarily to do with meat. So because obviously this is something we need to start off anyway. And this is a competitor that's the same authority than us, as well as us, and not an incredible amount of traffic, but this is a domain that I just want to show you kind of what can be achieved and what they're covering when it comes to meat. They only have 102 pages, and they have sweet wine types, great listicle content. Let's take a look actually how this one structured. Okay, again, not great, is it? Oh, this is nice. There's all pictures. Oh, is that it? Oh, not great. Yeah, there's no images again. Okay. Well, again, like just a good sign that there's things to be improved here. But yeah, I mean, they have types of meat, which is something I think we should do. Meat vs Wine, again, Honey Wine, Shark Tank. History of meat. I guess these are kind of health benefits of meat. Just things that I want to show you that I was thinking of when I was talking about information pieces of content on how to make meat and all things meat, etc. So yeah. And finally, we have cancanawards.com. They are 20 and it's generating 32,500 per month, according to Ahrefs. So again, same authority in us. And this one is doing alcohol, primarily beer. But then again, I said, we could do other beers, other alcohols and stuff like that. But then they have what is root beer made of. We have what is that? Is Corona's gluten free? This is where I was talking about dietary stuff. Like, is Corona, is meat gluten free, is wine gluten free, is wine vegan, etc. Best dark rum. Okay, this is probably an affiliate. And they have best rum for pina colada. We can do best wines for X and Y situation. Blue Moon alcohol content. Again, this is where I thought that we could do alcohols, which was in the information articles on types of alcohol and their alcohol content. So I think this is interesting. And people are looking for this stuff. Look, 4,000 search volumes for this. How long does it take for beer to freeze? Types of Guinnesses. This is good. Best rum from Mai Tai. How long is canned beer good for? And other stuff. Gluten levels in beer chart. Interesting. Yeah, I think there's things to be done here. But I think that, we should obviously lay out the foundation that this one was initially, built on with meat, and then expand on that with wines, wineries, breweries, and X and Y city listicles. More information on alcoholic beverages and things like that. This is where kind of my strategy was going, and that's a wrap.
Excellent. Thanks, Elena.
No worries.
Stick, as usual. Good job. So I'm just looking. Actually, I've come off the page. Have we got enough likes? 34.
One
likes.
more.
Come on.
Elena, show us the puppy.
Shall I show the ear?
Show us the ear.
I got to assume the puppy is gonna get the extra like. So if you are interested in some niche website builders merch, type something in the chat now, and in the next 5 minutes we'll do the draw. You've got to type something in the chat, otherwise you won't be in the draw. That's just the way it works with YouTube. So get typing. Anything you want.
I don't print. Oh, there's the year. There was the year if you missed it.
He was asleep, bless him.
Oh no, you're waking him up to
be fair, he needs to be woken up, so.
Now he's going to be naughty now.
Now he's going to be naughty. The puppy. Oh. One like, come on, guys. I'm not showing it if you don't.
It's 35. It's 35. You can
Is
get
it?
the puppy out.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the reward.
Yay!
He's a sleepy boy.
Oh, he looks so tired.
I woke him up. Oh, he's yawning because I woke him up. Oh. At least he's not going to be moving a lot and biting me, so it's all right.
What did we say we were going to call him? Niche, right?
His name's what?
I can't remember what we said. What was his name again? We had a funny name for him, but I can't remember what it was now.
His name's Alfie.
Alfie
the merch.
It's already gone up. Oh, merch. That was it. Merch, yeah. So, yeah, 37 now. So, like, he's already piling in more likes. Just got to show you the puppy earlier, I guess. So, keep putting your name in the chat, and we'll do the draw shortly. In terms of next week, we'll have another niche lifestyle show. This time over on Alex's channel. I'll quickly go and grab the name of that's going to be. We don't have a title yet for the website investing show next Thursday, but we will by next week. So keep an eye out. So what is the? Oh, I remember it. Oh no, maybe not. So it's the art of saying no and why it's important. That's over on Alex's channel, WP Eagle. So check that out in the description if you want to subscribe to that. Get ready for next week's show. And we'll have another topic to cover in the website investing show and some more teardowns next Thursday too.
Yep.
Okay, so
Get a
let's
bit of
have a
music
look.
going.
Some music going. I need to get the merch out again.
Wow. This has messed up your microphone, Mark, for some reason. I'll turn the music back off. Couldn't hear you then.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear you now?
And I'm going to get the merch out.
Flash the merch.
So yeah, t-shirts, caps, and mugs. So I've got the mug again. But yeah, here's all the lots of different colors, choices, styles. You two can look as cool as these guys. And a mug and caps. So get the cap back on. Quickly type something in the chat now. You got 10 more seconds.
You have like what's that show? Countdown. we should have the countdown. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, give some tunes, Adam. Assuming that my voice is still heard.
Here we go.
There we go. Okay, last couple of late entrants here. Right, let's do this. Right, here we go. Good luck, everyone.
Oh, Thorsten or Tim. Thorsten or Tim. Thorsten.
Thorsten, congratulations, Thorsten.
Congratulations.
Head over to nichewebsite.builders. Message in the chat or on the contact form for your merch. Anything else to add before we go? Sign up to, don't forget, it's our summer sale this week only. So there won't be another live stream for the sale end. So grab your 15% deal now, either 15% extra content or 15% off links. Check out the link in the description for coupons. And also Building Empires, sign up to the event happening January, February, or if you want to go and watch the videos from the June, July event. Lots of great speakers talking about website investing and growing a business online. So check that out at building.empires.live. That's it. Another show done. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll catch you again next week.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.